Protecting students, parents, and lawmakers are growing concerned over investigations of physical abuse inside Texas schools. The Department of Family and Protective Services, through its Child Protective Investigations Division, has investigated more than 1,500 allegations of such abuse against students in schools since 2021. DFPS says its rulings can influence criminal investigations and professional decisions at the Texas Education Agency. But investigator Kelly Wiley found DFPS is overwhelmingly ruling out physical abuse, even when evidence leads to other discipline and retraining.
Inside a Round Rock school for students with special needs, cameras show teachers taking this 14-year-old to a cool-down room in 2022. In a Texas Education Agency report, his teacher said it was because he was arguing and refusing to take a break. Inside that cool-down room, for several minutes, the student leans against the wall. It's when his teachers walk out and he follows that another school employee grabs him around the neck, according to state records, and throws him back into the room. The student then jumps up and makes physical threats to punch them. After, you can hear the student scream as he was held on the ground for 5 minutes by staff. Later reports from the TEA said those actions subjected the student to techniques against state law. But even with the video, records showed Child Protective Investigations, or CPI, officials initially said it was not physical abuse.
I called the investigator. The investigator told me to take it up with supervisor. I pleaded, I would like an appeal. This isn't right.
A Round Rock administrator is no longer working at a special education school.
In October, KXAN obtained the video through the students' family attorneys and published it in a story. Thousands of views later, the boy's mother got a different result.
I got a whole new letter, same case number, same incident date. This time, instead of ruled out, it says reason to believe.
I want to show you a video.
Okay.
So here it is.
We showed the video of that incident to Representative Harold Dutton, a state lawmaker who chairs the House Committee on Juvenile Justice and Family Issues and sits on panels for public education and youth health and safety.
What are they doing, holding him down?
We told Dutton about CPI changing its ruling.
I mean, because if you throw any child down like that, that's abuse. I don't know how anybody could conclude that was not abuse. And I'm not so sure about these changing conclusions and using the same set of facts in the same video to come up with a different conclusion. Come on, that creates a lack of confidence.
We also told Dutton about another case in St. Augustine. In 2021, records showed the district was notified by a parent about an allegation of physical mistreatment of an elementary-age student by a teaching aide. The district said in a statement it fired a teacher's aide after a review of footage and confirmation of misconduct. According to the statement, that same week, the district also fired another teaching aide implicated in the incident. TEA records indicate after the incident, both aides voluntarily surrendered their teacher-educator certificate. But records also show CPI again ruled out abuse. His mother is still in shock.
I was like, what? How they gonna rule it out? And he had bruises on him. And they even seen the video.
DFPS, the agency overseeing CPI, refused to sit down with us for an interview about these cases or its investigative process in general. But in an email, it said an abuse finding requires a genuine threat of substantial harm. The agency said if an investigator, in consultation with the program director, determines a situation doesn't meet those elements, the case may be ruled out in accordance with existing statute. In a KXAN analysis of state data regarding 2 years of physical abuse allegations in schools, we found in 92% of those cases, CPI did not confirm allegations. DFPS said investigations are difficult and complex work in any setting. School investigations are equally as challenging than any other probe into abuse or neglect of a child. Representative Dutton says he's concerned with the way investigators could be interpreting the statute around abuse.
That requires somebody to take a look at DFPS.
This session, he filed a bill to expand the definition of abuse in Texas to include restraints that don't comply with state and federal law.
And there was a time when every investigator had their own definition of what abuse and neglect was. We've tried to move away from that to where we have some standard definition for it. I'm not sure that we've gotten there completely.
How are you feeling about the situation now?
Still pretty frustrated. If it happened to my child, it could happen to others.
The Texas Education Agency has already ruled that actions seen in this Round Rock video were not in line with state or federal law. But it's still unclear what, if anything, will happen to the educator's teaching certificate.
What happens now that CPI has changed its findings in that case?
DFPS sent them to TEA, but so far, TEA hasn't told us anything has happened beyond that point. The district would not answer most of our questions because it says this is a confidential personnel matter. But it did say, along with annual and ongoing training, core team members also received advanced training on physical restraints this spring. We've also reached out to the employee seen in the video and have not heard back. The district told us in October the employee does not work at that school any longer, but the district said because of confidentiality, it will not say if he's still employed with the district. We also reached out to the former employees accused in the St. Augustine ISD case. One of the former aides told us she never hit the child. No criminal charges have been filed in that case, and TEA closed the investigation when the aides surrendered their certificates.
Lawmakers are still in session for another week. Where does Representative Dutton's bill stand?
Well, the bill has been referred to committees, but it looks like this session, it probably won't pass.
All right, so much of this information comes from families who tell us what they've experienced. We want to hear your experiences with CPI and with investigations taking place in Texas schools. You can share your story by scanning the QR code on your screen now with your smart device. Thank you, Kelly. Our investigation helps lead to results, the new update on the effort to help you better understand your medical bills and for what hospitals and doctors actually charged you.